Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Thank you all for joining. We will get started in just a moment. As a reminder, when you are entering from the waiting room, please do remain on mute unless or until you are presenting or providing testimony before the board. Good morning. This is a hearing before the licensing board for the city of Boston. Today is Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. Today's hearing is being held pursuant to temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. Today's hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the City of Boston's website. We are joined this morning by Commissioner Liam Curran and Commissioner Kiana Saxon. Please ensure that your audio and visuals are working properly if you will be presenting or providing testimony before the board this morning. I will call each item in the order that it appears on this morning's agenda. I will then ask who is present on behalf of the applicant. You'll make a brief presentation regarding your proposal, followed by questions by the commissioners. Following questions, there will be an opportunity for testimony, beginning with elected officials or their representatives. For members of the general public wishing to provide testimony, please limit your testimony to 2 minutes, and please state your name, address, and affiliation, if any. Begin with the first item on this morning's agenda, calling item number 1, Driver Seat LLC, doing business as Boston Halal, located at 961 Commonwealth Ave. Has applied for a common victualler license to be exercised at a previously licensed location, 3,100 square feet on the first floor, ground level. Restaurant includes a dining area with 44 seats, 3 public restrooms, a service counter, a back workroom, and 2 walk-in coolers. There's also a private seasonal patio from April to November with 16 seats, operating from 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. Manager Babu Koganti, hours of operation indoors 7 a.m. to 3 a.m. Who's present on behalf of the applicant?
Hi, it's me, Babu Koganti.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Koganti, for being with us. If you could please briefly present the proposed concept to the board.
Yeah, it was previously it was Blaze Pizza, so we're going into the Blaze Pizza space, opening up Boston Halal. It's a New York style street food with Indian Mediterranean mix to it, and we also might serve the pizza because the pizza oven was there, so we want to do a halal pizza up there. And because it's on the campus, so we would love to go late hours if possible for the kids up there. And there's no alcohol.
Great. Thank you with that. We'll see if there are any questions from the board. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon.
Just regarding the hours, what were the hours previously at that location, and what are your hours planning regarding the days of the week?
I'm not sure what they were operating before, but we want to operate from 7 a.m. to 3 a.m. So serving breakfast, lunch, dinner, and late night.
7 days a week?
7 days a week, yes.
Okay. I'll wait on comments if I have any other questions, but as of right now, nothing else.
Because the next door, Al Hafiz, is doing the same thing.
All right.
Is this takeout until 3 a.m. or are you going to have third party delivery?
It's takeout and deliveries.
Okay. What is your third party takeout plan? Like, is
No,
there
we
a
want to
place
use
for
the
them
third
to
party.
park?
Yeah, I mean there's dedicated parking up there. So we don't know how the area is because we never opened a business in that area. So, but we spoke to Al Hafiz, our neighbors. They said it's pretty much possible because after 12 p.m. it's the street is not that busy. So they do a pretty good takeout after 12 p.m. for the kids.
And Commissioner Curran, for your question about the prior licensee, I just pulled up, they had a license until 1 a.m.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions from the commissioners before we move to testimony?
None from me.
Great. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office is defer to the judge for this board. Some background information on the community process. ONS had hosted a butters meeting on November 7th. From my understanding, no one was in attendance. No concerns were raised. They were in contact with the Alston Civic Association, which is the closest civic group. They were in non-opposition to this proposal. With that, we'll defer to the board at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Calling item number 2, Duffy Enterprises, Inc., doing business as Domino's Pizza, located at 163 Old Colony Ave in South Boston. Holder of a common victualler license has petitioned to change the closing hours of the location from 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. to 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. Who's present on behalf of the applicant?
My name is Bill Mohan. I'm a licensing and permitting consultant working with Duffy Enterprises. I have been appearing before this board for about the last 15 to 20 years. Things have changed with the board. I remember walking in and being greeted by Mary Sullivan and Nancy, and I miss both of them. But in any case, I've worked with on a number of applications for Domino's around Boston and Greater Boston, and in every case, it was dealing with late delivery. Domino's has become the number one franchise, pizza franchise, not just in the country, in the world. And we've done that because of two words. And those two words are we deliver. We deliver our own. There are no paid delivery services that handle our products. And our drivers are the highest paid employees that we have. We make it very, very clear to the drivers. The first complaint we get of dangerous driving, excessive noise, you're gone. And they don't challenge that, and they won't chance losing the job over that. We do not allow them to play the radios in the car. When they come to the store to pick up their next group of orders, they don't have to park in the front of the store. We have an old road that is now a pass-through. I don't know whether you can see that. I hope you can, because that's the roadway. Our cars park there. That door that you see is the back door right into the kitchen of our franchise. They don't have to go through the front door. When we close for walk-ins, the store is closed. The front door is locked. All of the lights in the foyer and on a sign are off. And the only lights are in the kitchen. And it's only the people working in the kitchen and the drivers going to and from. When we, in order to get to this point, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services instructed us, provided us with a flyer, and you have a copy of that, all the material that I'm talking about, you have copies of as well. Made a flyer, and we had to distribute it to the 175 units of housing in a 300-foot radius of the store. When we did this, we have to take a picture of it and send it back to the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Service to show that we are in fact doing that. Once we've proven we've done that, now we can apply for an abutters meeting. We had an abutters meeting. There was only one call in opposition, and that was a woman that lived a little ways down the street and across the street of this major thoroughfare. Old Colony is a 4-lane roadway and 2 lanes of parking. so 6 lanes across. And she was complaining that our sign keeps her up at night. And I said, well, how long has this been going on? And she said, well, 4 years since we moved in. And I said, did you come over and complain to us or let us know that was the case? No, I didn't. Okay, fine. I then went to Sergeant Fitton at the Boston Police and station of South Boston to see if there were any other complaints about Domino's. And he said, well, I'm the day community service officer, and I can say point blank, no, we don't have any, but I will check with my nighttime supervisor. He did call me the next day. No, we never have a problem with Domino's. And so I decided I met about 35 to 40 people on the street, posting things on their door. A lot of them came to the door and said, what's this about? There was no opposition, not a single one. And in fact, most of them said, we're happy with that. We want that to go through. Two young gentlemen on West 8th Street came down and said, we're in Domino's 3 or 4 times a week. And in fact, we'd like to buy your franchise. How much do you want for the franchise? And we said, I'm sorry, it's not for sale. That's when we decided, well, let's see what the rest of the neighborhood is going to say, because I knew from past experiences, the Andrews Square Civic Association was not going to be in favor of this. The city council is not going to be in favor of this. They're opposed to all late nights. And so I wanted to see what the rest of the neighborhood did. And so I printed up some petitions, and every person that I started a conversation with started with, do you live in South Boston or do you work in South Boston? And if the answer was yes, then I explained the petition. And you have a copy, over 120 people signed that petition. Not one person that we talked about what we're doing said, no, I'm not in favor of it, I'm not going to sign. When we went to the Alston, I'm sorry, not Alston, the Andrews Square Civic Association meeting. True to form, the leadership made it very, very clear, even before the meeting even started, that they were against it. I had gotten to the meeting about a half an hour early, was talking to a couple of people, and the president came over and asked me to sit down. You have 5 minutes when we call on you to present your case. And I know what you're doing. You're working the crowd, and we don't want to see that. Sit down. And that was it. And there were two ladies who were called upon by the chair. One said she had listened to the abutters meeting and listened to the woman complain about being across the street. And I had a chance to correct her and said, well, I know that's what she said, but that's not accurate. And we talked about that. And then the second woman said, well, I have a friend who was at the gas station, this is down the street, that said there was a gentleman running around just shoving pieces of paper in front of people and say, here, just sign this. You don't have to know what it is, just sign it. And I took issue with that. I mean, I've been at this a while. I don't do that. What we did find, the first people to sign the petition was the next door neighbor of the woman who said the light was keeping her awake. And so I asked she and her husband, I may be reaching, it may not be her husband, but in any case, the couple. And they said, no, we don't have a problem with Domino's. We have a problem with the gas station, but we don't have a problem with Domino's. Okay, and that's the way it went all the way around. Several years ago, former city councilor Michael Ross, who was former city council president and appears before your board on occasion, wrote an op-ed in the Globe and said, Boston is on the verge of becoming a world-class city. And people are coming here for education, for their businesses, for their jobs. But Boston has to work on 2 projects, 2 issues to make it that. And one was increased improvement in transportation, especially late night, and late night food access. If we're able to go to 3 a.m., and you have voted this for us, and we're very grateful for that, in every case that we've come before you, because we've been able to show that there is a need. Every business that comes into a neighborhood or a city or a ward comes in to present a service. It's a service for the people who live and work in that community. Domino's service is predominantly late night delivery. Other businesses, in order to take advantage of what they do, you have to leave your residence and you have to go walk or drive to that location. That's not the case with Domino's. Over 90% of our business in every Domino's franchise is delivery, and that's the way we have it. And so what we tried to do is to present that service. We've made it clear. You have copies of all the petition sheets that we've had. The people who live in Southie just signed. The people who work in Southie, I've identified them on the petitions as working in Southie. In two instances, one woman came in, was in the store when I just happened to be presenting the petitions to the people who work there, and asked what we were doing. And I told them, and she says, I work in the Boston Postal Annex. It's the largest postal annex in New England. And we work all night getting the mail ready to distribute first thing in the morning. And we don't have access to food. And we try to call, and we can't get through to Domino's. And why? Because we're closed. The phones are shut off. At the gas station, one of the gentlemen that signed the petition with...
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Why don't we move on to comments? I think you're
Okay.
anticipating some opposition.
Okay.
They have to say, because you're going to get a chance to respond to them.
Yes, I was just going to ask for that.
Yeah. So why don't we just move, I know you're anticipating comments, so why don't we get to those and you'll be able to respond to them specifically.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you, Mr. Curran. And before we move to questions and testimony, just one question, Mr. Mohan, just to
Yes.
clarify, since it's not in the agenda or the hearing notice. The application is for delivery only between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Door will be
The
closed.
store will be closed, the lights are off, and the sign's off.
Thank you. Before we move to testimony, Commissioner Curran and Commissioner Saxon, any questions?
I'll wait on comments as well.
No questions right now. Thank you.
Great. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes. Members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office is to defer to the judgment of this board. Some background information, the community process. ONS had hosted the Butters meeting on November 20th. There was about half a dozen residents who attended. 2 were vocally in support. We had 3 that expressed concerns or opposition. One abutter stated that allowing the business to expand their hours would improve the commercial viability of the area. Those who expressed concerns about potential noise from these delivery drivers coming in late at night, or mentions of existing issues with vagrancy in the area and concerns that the extended hours would compound these issues. The applicant did appear before the Andrew Square Civic Association, which I understand is in opposition. The applicant has collected a number of signatures, which they have forwarded to the board, and the board should have access to. With that, we'll defer to the board. Thank you.
Hi, thank you, Attorney Green and members of the board. My name is Sydney. I'm from Councillor Flynn's office. Councillor Flynn would like to join the Andrew Square Civic Association and go on record in opposition due to quality of life concerns raised by neighbors with the 3 a.m. closing time. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon, any questions following the testimony we've heard?
Attorney Green, do we have any correspondence from Andrew Square Civic?
Yes, we received an opposition letter this morning right before the hearing. That'll be shared with both of you after this.
Okay. but no one's here to speak.
I'll ask again. Is there anybody with us this morning who would like to testify on this matter? Not appear to be anybody with us this morning to speak.
Okay. Do you have any closing remarks?
Yes, I tried to meet on 2 occasions with Councilor Flynn. Went to his office on 2 occasions, met with his officials, and they said, "Yeah, we're going to set up a time for you to come in and meet with." And I never got a call from the councilor's office. And as I said, there's another pizza shop right in the heart of Andrew Square. That's late night, and the gas station right down the street is 24 hours a day, and it's something that the neighborhood and South Boston has shown, especially with the addition of dormitories to University of Massachusetts. I remember when it was a small commuter school. That's not the case anymore, and that's one of our most popular destinations at night, as you can imagine. Boston is changing. South Boston is changing. Andrew Square is changing. The building that's going on there over the next 10 years is incredible. And the demand for those services are going to continue to expand. We think the board understands that, and we think the board understands what we're trying to do, and we're hopeful that you'll join us in approving the 3 a.m. delivery. Thank you very much for your time.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, the board will take this matter under advisement as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Calling item number 3, Sushi Wash-In Inc., doing business as Wash-In, located at 212 to 222 Stewart Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Yukin Wu to Liang Zhang. Attorney Anne-Marie Janine. Attorney Janine? Oh, you are on mute. Hold on a moment.
Good morning.
Morning.
Can you hear me now?
We can.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Anne-Marie Janine on behalf of Sushi Washing Inc., DBA Washing. They're a holder of a wine and malt beverages license operated at 222 Stewart Street in the Back Bay. Again, this is a petition for change of manager from Yukan Wu to Liang Zhang, who is present here. Mr. Zhang is the president of Sushi Washing Inc. and has been in charge of the overseeing of the restaurant since its opening a little over a year ago. He also has over 17 years experience in the restaurant business.
Okay. Mr. Zhang, I'm going to go through the manager of record questions. Are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Are you a U.S. citizen or legally authorized to work in the United States?
Yes.
Are you a resident of Massachusetts?
Yes.
Your attorney already went over your experience, so I'll take that. And then, so the final question would be, are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth regarding the sale and service of alcohol?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Saxon, any questions?
Nothing additional. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Calling item number 4, LLH LLC, doing business as Trader Joe's, located at 199 North Harvard Street in Alston. Holder of a retail package store all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Kushal Rao to Brian Thomas Foote. Who's present on behalf of the applicant?
Hi, I'm Brian Foote.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Foote, for being with us. Commissioner Curran, if you want to go through the manager of record questions.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Foote, are you a United States citizen or legally authorized to work in the U.S.?
Yes.
Are you a resident of Massachusetts?
Yes.
Do you have experience in the food and beverage industry?
I've worked for Trader Joe's for over 12 years, in management for over 10, and have worked in a couple different stores that have sold alcohol in the past.
Okay. And are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing additional. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? The board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Calling item number 5, Remington Boston Employers LLC, doing business as Hilton Boston Back Bay, located at 40 Dalton Street. Holder of an in-holder all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Dominique Marty to Doug Koenig, who's present on behalf of the applicant.
I am Doug Koenig.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Koenig.
Morning.
I have the same questions for you. Are you a U.S. citizen or legally authorized to work in the United States?
I am.
A resident of Massachusetts?
I am.
Do you have experience in the food and beverage industry?
Yeah, I've been hotel management for 36 years now, 30 years of it as a general manager of hotels that serve food and beverage.
Okay. And are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the service and sale of alcohol?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing additional, thanks.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you, Mr. Koenig, for being with us. Calling item number 6, Fan Hall MV Restaurant LLC, doing business as Margaritaville, located at 300 Faneuil Hall Marketplace. Holder of a common victualler 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Jeremy Ward to Kristen Mann, who is present on behalf of the applicant.
Good morning, Elizabeth Pisano from Upton, Connell, and Devlin on behalf of the licensee. With me is the new proposed manager of record, Kristen Mahan. She is a U.S. citizen, a Massachusetts resident, and is familiar with the rules and regulations of this board and the ABCC relating to the sale and service of alcohol. She is TIP certified and has been working in the food and beverage industry for over 15 years. Most recently, she's been the assistant general manager at the Margaritaville here in Faneuil Hall. And prior to that, she worked at Miller's Ale House in Watertown and the Tavern in Framingham. And we're happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you, Attorney Pisano, for covering these standard questions. I have no further questions.
Nothing for me, thank you.
Great, thanks. I'll just ask if there is anybody with us who would like to testify on this matter. Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 7, High Street TRS LLC, doing business as High Street Place, located at 100 High Street. Holder of a common victualler 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned for a change of officers, directors, LLC managers of the corporation. Attorney Adam Barnoski. Attorney Barnoski.
Thank you, Attorney Green. Good morning, members Kern and Saxon. Adam Barnoski, 255 State Street in Boston, here on behalf of High Street TRS LLC, doing business as High Street Place. We are here on a application for a change of officers and directors. Specifically, this is the change of the LLC manager. Joseph Goldman is replacing Spencer Raymond. Mr. Raymond departed the company last month. Mr. Goldman, who is a United States citizen and serves as Deputy General Counsel for Rock Point, will take over this position. As the board is aware, the food hall is owned by Rock Point and it's operated by its affiliate, Rock Hill. The property is subject to several management agreements which handle day-to-day alcoholic beverage sale and service on premise. The requested change before the board today will have no impact on the operation of the food hall. Happy to answer any questions.
I have no questions.
None from me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals with us this morning who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Calling together items 8, 9, and 10, Mass Bay Brewing Company, Inc., doing business as Harpoon Brewery, located at 306 Northern Ave. Holder of a 19B Farmer Winery pouring license, a 19C Farmer Brewery pouring license, and a 19H Combined Wines and Malts pouring license, has petitioned for a change of officers directors and also has petitioned for a change of stock interest in all 3 licenses. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
I am. Good morning, Attorney Green and Commissioners. Mark Bornstein. I'm an attorney at the law firm Prince LaBelle with an office in Boston, representing Mass Bay Brewing Company, Inc., doing business as Harpoon Brewery. This morning, I'm joined by certain representatives of Harpoon Brewery, Nathaniel Davis, who's the president, and also Shannon Cudmore, who is the assistant vice president of administration. As you just read into the record, Attorney Green, we're applying for a change of officers and directors and a change of stock interest pertaining to the Farmer Brewery, Farmer Winery, and the 19H pouring permits with respect to the premises. Just a brief overview for the commissioners. These applications pertain to The fact that Mass Bay is joining forces with Finest Kind Brewing LLC under the umbrella of Barrel One Collective Inc. And as a result, all of the shareholders of Mass Bay are contributing their interests to Barrel One Collective and receiving 50% interest in the new company as a result. And so as part of that, we're seeking those amendments. Other than that, there will be no changes to the operations of the existing facility. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions the commissioners may have.
I have no questions.
None from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals with us this morning who would like to testify on these items 8, 9, and 10? Seeing none, the board will take these matters under advisement as well. And thank you, Ms. Cudmore, for all the back and forth on getting the applications bet before us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Calling item number 11, Golden Naga Inc., doing business as Laughing Monk Cafe, located at 737 Huntington Ave. Holder of a common victualler 7-day all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned for a change of officers directors, and secondly has petitioned for a change in stock interest. Attorney Kristen Scanlon. Attorney Scanlon?
Good morning, Kristen Scanlon for the licensee. Just a brief matter before you this morning to remove a previous shareholder, 10% shareholder, Chaiwut Chitkusol. His 10% share was transferred to the majority shareholder, Dome Nakapakorn, who now maintains the majority ownership. Other than that, no other changes to operations.
I have no questions. Thank you.
None from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Calling item number 12, Dynasty Restaurant Inc., doing business as Dynasty Restaurant, located at 14 Hudson Street. This item was continued from last week's transactional hearing to allow for the completion of the community process. Holder of a common victualler, 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license, has petitioned to change the hours of the licensed business from Monday to Sunday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m., to Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 2 a.m., and Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. Attorney Chung Lee. Attorney Lee?
Hi, good morning. Yeah, my name is Chung Lee. I'm a counsel and representing the Dynasty Restaurant Inc., DBA Dynasty Restaurant, located at 14A Hudson Street in Boston, Massachusetts, in the Chinatown district. We are here this morning on an application for change of hours from the original Monday to Sunday, 7 days from 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. to Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. Dynasty Restaurant has been in business since 2022 and it has been operating a full-service Oriental restaurant, serving upscale Oriental cuisine and foods and all-day dim sum service. We've been serving the Chinatown community and clientele since 2022 without any incident or complaints, and we value our position as a positive community member of the Chinatown community. Recently, we've been approached, well, not recently, for a long time, we've been approached by a substantial amount of existing clientele to extend hours in order to serve principally the Chinatown residents and visitors who are unable to make dinner plans prior to 12 a.m. Many of these potential clients who are also Chinatown residents and not able to come back to Chinatown to enjoy a nice dinner experience prior to 11 or 12 o'clock due to employment obligations. As you well know, as the board well knows, a lot of the residents in China are employed outside of Chinatown, and due to transportation closing out outside of in their employment positions, are not able to come back. As such, while we had the opportunity when we originally applied for the license in 2022 for 2 or 4 o'clock closing time, we did work with the community who expressed some concerns about a 2 to 4 a.m. closing time. And at that time, after consultation with my client, we accepted and agreed with a 12 o'clock closing at that time. At the moment, because we need to meet the needs of the Chinatown residents and outside visitors who cannot get to our restaurant, we are proposing amending the hours now after 2-3 years of history shown that we have not had any violation whatsoever and that we can have a positive effect on the Chinatown community. We are proposing extending those hours to 2 a.m. so as we can address this need and demand for the kind of foods and services that we provide. The restaurant will operate as usual without any other changes other than the change in hours. The liquor license manager, Mr. William Wong, will remain the same, and the corporate structure and equity owners will remain the same as well. And as we have requests, we had the communities meetings yesterday, as well as meeting with the CRA, the CPA, and the CNC neighbor groups. There were spots of perhaps minor concerns, but all in all, I believe, in my opinion, there weren't any major opposition to what we were looking for. And at this moment, we'll be asking this board to approve the application for change of hours to Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 a.m., Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m., so that we can have effectively service the Chinatown community and also contribute positively to the Hudson Street area and Chinatown as a whole. Thank you very much.
Thank you. With that, we'll see if there are any questions from the board. Commissioner Carn and Commissioner Saxon, any questions?
I'll reserve until after comments. Thank you.
None for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of this board. Some background information on the community process. ONS had hosted a butters meeting last night that was lightly attended. My understanding, there was no concerns raised. Prior to that, the applicant was in contact with a number of stakeholders and civic groups in Chinatown, including the Chinatown Neighborhood Council, the Chinatown Residents Association, and the Chinatown Safety Committee. Some members of each of those organizations expressed some concerns. The applicant was able to answer questions that members of the public had for them. With that, we'll defer to the board at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other elected officials or their representatives who would like to testify before we move to general testimony?
Yes, thank you, Attorney Green and members of the board. My name is Sydney. I'm from Councillor Flynn's office. At this time, Councillor Flynn would like to go on record in opposition due to the quality of life concerns like trash removal and noise with the 2 a.m. closing time. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals with us this morning who would like to testify? Commissioner Carn, Commissioner Saxon, any questions following the testimony that we have received?
I have none. Thank you.
No questions from me. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Calling item number 13, Huntington Market, Inc., doing business as Huntington Liquors, located at 303 Huntington Ave. Holder of a retail package store all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Symphony Liquors, Inc., doing business as Huntington Wine and Spirits at the same location. Narel Patel, manager, 11 p.m. closing hour. Secondly, the applicant has petitioned to amend the description of the license from 303 Huntington Ave, one room, first floor, cellar stock, to retail store located at 301 Huntington Ave, Boston, consists of approximately 2,216 square feet, one room on first floor, storage in rear of building, one entrance exit. And lastly, the applicant has petitioned to pledge the license and inventory to Rockland Trust Company. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Hi, my name is Jackson Christian. I'm an attorney at Democus Law Offices in Linden. I'm here for Symphony Liquors, Inc. And Niril Patel is also here, who is the president of Symphony Liquors.
Thank you. Yep, we do see Mr. Patel on here. Attorney Christian, if you could just please briefly present the proposed concept and changes to the board.
Yeah, so I think you already did a really good job of reading it into the record. But just for a quick summary, Niril formed Symphony Liquors, Inc. to buy the business and the assets from Huntington Market, Inc., which is doing business as Huntington Wine and Spirits at 303 Huntington Avenue in Boston. It's 301-303. And so Niril is all of the officers and the only owner of the corporation. It's going to still be running as a liquor store, same hours and everything. The one change, like you mentioned, is that we're looking for an alteration of the premises, and we're actually looking to make it smaller. They're going to be putting a demising wall in there, so it's going to go from being about 5,000 square feet to 2,216 square feet. And there's no real estate. It's going to be a lease with the same landlord, and Niril is going to be the manager of record. He's tip certified, and they're going to have new ID scanners in there. And Niril, he has another Section 15, an interest in another Section 15 license in Boston. So, he's experienced with the rules in Boston and everything like that. And yeah, you're getting financing from Rockland Trust Company. So that's the reason we're looking for the pledge of the inventory and the license. And other than that, I'll take any questions that you all have.
Is Mr. Patel the manager of record of the other license?
No, he is not.
Yes. No.
Okay. So, Mr. Patel, I'll just go through the standard questions again. Are you a U.S. citizen or authorized to work in the U.S.?
Yes, I am U.S. citizen, sir.
Okay. Are you a resident of Massachusetts?
Yes.
And you have food experience in the food and beverage industry?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth regarding the
Yes.
sale and service of alcohol?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Nothing from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals with us who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, calling item number 14, JAJB Inc., doing business as Tavern in the Square, Alston, located at 161 to 165 Brighton Ave in Alston. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Sanbada Alston LLC, doing business as Gingy, Sanbada, and Bombada at the same location. Samson Duong, manager, 2 a.m. closing hour. Secondly, the applicant has petitioned to amend the description of the premise from rear entrance to alley off 87 Harvard Avenue for stock into rooms on first floor, kitchen, and stock and cellar, 1 room and annual roof deck patio for 150 persons on second floor from 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. daily, inside capacity breakdown, 265 persons standing, 315 seated, per Boston Fire Department use of mechanical counters to maintain occupancy load required. 2, the new revised description on 2 floors, ground floor approximately 6,500 square feet in 4 rooms. First with table and booth seating for 148, bar and standing area for patrons. Second with food prep and kitchen area. Third with table and booth seating for 84, and fourth with kitchen and food prep area. Basement approximately 6,500 square feet with multiple bathrooms for guests and staff, kitchens, walk-in coolers, offices, storage, and lockers for staff. Who's present on behalf of the applicant?
Good morning, Commissioners. Secretary Green, Kevin Butler from McDermott, Quilty, Miller, and Hanley, representing the applicant, Simbada Alston LLC, in their application to transfer the existing all alcoholic beverages restaurant license currently at 161 to 165 Brighton Avenue in Alston to the applicants at the same location. I am joined by Samson Duong, the proposed manager of record, and the members of the ownership team. Approval of this application will bring 3 new exciting concepts to Alston. The premises will be approximately 13,000 square feet and will house 3 concepts in 2 separate but connected spaces. The first concept, Gingy, will be in the larger space and will be an authentic Korean barbecue with an elevated menu and offerings. The second space will house the other 2 concepts, Simbada and Babada. Simbada has a more seafood-focused menu and will be slightly more approachable. Here you'll see grilled fish, a large selection of sides, and healthy, fresh, and high-end ingredients. Bombada is Simbada's nighttime counterpart and will include a reshaped menu. They'll have dishes that pair well with specialty Korean cocktails. Gingy will have seating for 148, while Simbada and Bombada will have seating for 84. We are proposing to keep the 2 a.m. closing hour, and we are not doing third-party deliveries because they are not compatible with our food concepts. As I'm sure you'll hear from ONS shortly, we have attended in a butter meeting where we answered questions and generally received support with no opposition, and engaged in a productive conversation with the Neighborhood Civic Association, where we were generally well received. As I've already mentioned, I am joined by the proposed manager of record. Mr. Duong has experience with the sale and service of alcohol, including as manager at Captain Louis in Stoneham. He is a United States citizen, a resident of Dracut, is experienced in the industry, and is familiar with the laws of the Commonwealth, the rules of the ABCC, and this board for the sale and service of alcohol. The applicant team has extensive experience in the restaurant industry, operating multiple restaurants in and around Boston, including Cafe Weekend right around the corner from the proposed premises, Kim's Tofu, and Bonchon Alston, having done so for many years successfully and without incident. We want to thank you for hearing this application today, and we are happy to answer any questions that you may have.
I have no questions at this time.
None from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office will defer to the judgment of this board. Some background information, the community process. As you heard, ONS had run an abutters meeting on January 27th. There was one abutter present who had raised concerns regarding noise issues that had occurred with the previous tenant at this location. There were no further comments in that meeting. The applicant went on to the Alston Civic Association, which was supportive of the proposal on the conditions that they be a good neighbor, taking care of their trash, being mindful of rodent issues in the community, as well as snow removal on the public streetscapes. A letter has been sent to the board, I understand. From that, we'll defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Connor. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Any further questions from the board? The board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Those are all the items before the board this morning. The board will vote tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Notice has been posted to the city's website. That will adjourn this hearing. Thank you all and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.